Good morning, guys. We'll have to edit this in, I'm sure, but this is John Jones of American Ninja Warrior. We're here in Salina, Texas at the Ninja Fitness, soon to be Ninja Fitness. As you guys can see, I'll step out of the way. It's going to be a massive gym. Massive.
All 1,800 square feet of it.
Oh, 1,800 square feet. Well, we're going to say that in the future, all of this will be his. That's speaking by faith. But John, I've read your story a little bit and wanted to get you on here. Super excited to be able to do it. Wanted to get kind of your backstory. I read about your daughter and all that. Want you to kind of share this with the people, and then we'll go through a little bit of it, some mindsets and some of the things we talk about. So I'm going to turn this over to you and let you kind of talk about it.
So it's one of those typical Ninja Warrior stories, you know, watching TV, flipping through channels, and we just stopped on the show, and my daughter was sitting there, and you know, she was 13, 14 at the time, and she was more entertained with the guys on the show. You know, the shirts are off, the six-pack abs, you know, and she's like, ooh, and I'm like, no, and I don't remember what obstacle it was, but there was something, and I was just sitting there, I was like, you know what, I could do that. And she just looks at me, and she says, you're too old. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm at the time, I'm in my mid-30s, and I'm like, too old. I'm not 40. You know, I mean, come on. So, anyways, it kind of planted that seed. And of course, at that point, I finished my beer, went outside, lit a cigarette, and didn't really think about it. Go to work the next day, and that seed that she planted just blew up. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of, it really started weighing on me, and just kind of grew and grew. And then it was about a week after that, I want to say, actually it was July 1st. Is when it was, and I just said, you know what, I'm done. And I literally, it rained us out of work that day. I went home, changed clothes, went to the gym, bought a membership, and I was done. That was it. And I had no clue what I was doing. I had no idea where to start or what to do. I just knew you got to quit drinking, you got to quit smoking, and you got to get in the gym. That's it. So it pretty much just went from there. I mean, it took about a week. And then whenever it exploded, that was it. It was full on commitment.
So let me ask you. First of all, I have two daughters, and my middle one challenges me all the time. You know, Daddy, you can't do this. Daddy, you can't do that. And so, thank God, she's never challenged me to Ninja Warrior. It's always, Daddy, you can't rip this phone book, or you can't bend this pan, or something with strength. I got that. We're good. But thank God she hadn't done that, because Daddy can't do this. but let me ask you: were there setbacks in your quitting smoking, quitting drinking, lifestyle change? Were there ever relapses or anything like that, or was it a mindset that you locked on and kept going?
It was a mindset. I mean, it was one of those things that I wanted to do it, and that's the thing I was told many years ago, was if you want something, you know, you got to really want it before you can have it. And this is something I really wanted. I looked at her that, you know, the next weekend I had her over for the weekend, and I told her what I was doing, and I said, I just want to prove to you that anything's possible. You know, whether I make it on the show, whether I don't make it on the show, that doesn't matter as long as you just step up and shoot for your dreams, reach your goals. And it took a few years to get there, but you know, it just proved to her every day that anything's possible if you set your mind to it.
So now, we were talking off camera, and you were telling me about San Antonio and how you're amped up for it, and so give us a little bit of the story of getting there, and then the lessons you learned from there.
Yeah. So So when they started the callbacks for this region, for San Antonio, for season 9, the name that I was going by at the time, there was another guy going by it too, and I saw on the first day of callbacks that they had called him. So that at that point it was instantly over for me, and it was just total devastation. Before it even got started, it felt like it was already over.
Yeah.
And it was actually, and I cannot ever forget this one. It was February 14th of all days.
Oh wow.
And I was actually at the gym that morning when I saw that this guy had gotten the call. He posted online, and I was just, my whole day was shot. It was horrible. I was frustrated. I was upset, depressed. Everything that I worked so hard for that I thought I had, I just felt like it was already taken away before it even started. So it actually, and I won't ever forget it. And we were at home having dinner, getting dinner ready, and I was upset. And my wife is, it's Valentine's Day. She's wanting teddy bear and flowers and, peace, love, and happiness and butterflies and unicorns. And I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was so upset. And I will never forget. It was about 10 minutes after I was really being a jerk. I'm not gonna lie. I was upset, And my phone rang, and I looked over, and I mean, in this community, everybody knows if it's an 818 number, it's them calling.
Yeah.
But same sense, I've been called in years past, and it was just phone interviews, and that was it. So when I answered the phone, the lady at first she says, is this John Jones? I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, well, I just wanted to call and tell you congratulations. And at that moment, it was just a game changer.
Turned into a happy Valentine's Day.
It really did. It did. My wife says it still ruined Valentine's Day that year, but it was. I mean, neither one of us slept all night. We were so excited. We didn't tell the kids until the next day.
Yeah.
But it was one of those that, you still. It proved to me you can't give up even when you think it's over. You have to keep that faith, because just because you think something's not going to happen doesn't mean it won't.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was definitely a turnaround. So it was awesome. But we went to San Antonio, and at that point, that's whenever I saw how dedicated I really was.
Uh-huh.
That was the test. There was getting that phone call and working for myself. That's when reality really hit in, and how we're going to make it all work.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how did San Antonio, you got there, you got your call, all your dreams came true, sucky Valentine's Day. But how the process of once you got there, how did that turn out? How did that end up? And what did you learn from that process? Because you've been on more than once, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that was your first time.
Yes, sir.
You got there. Wasn't exactly what the outcome wasn't what you wanted, right?
Correct.
And so walk me through that process, because I know a lot of the people I coach and talk to, they have this goal, and they think, oh, well, if I just work hard enough to get to that goal, then everything else will fall in place, and that's nice, and it's great theory, but in real life, that doesn't always happen. And your walking testimony to that is sometimes you got to grit up, man up, whatever you want to call it, and go back at it again. So kind of give me that story, that mindset.
Mm-hmm. So we were, and I won't ever forget, and I was talking to the kids that do my submission video here at the high school, and when we were going through the process, they asked kind of the same things. What was it like behind the scenes? What was it whenever you're there? Well, I can't say what it was exactly behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I can say it's awesome. It's like really, it's phenomenal. It's a great time. It's like a big reunion of friends that have known everybody for years. But at that time, I didn't really know anyone. I knew my friends that were local, and I knew a few of the big names, but I wasn't friends with them or nothing. And when I was sitting back there, I thought this was the greatest thing in the world. In what we call ninja jail. You're in the back, you can't go anywhere, you got to stay back in staging, and it was the greatest feeling ever. Mm-hmm. But you're also back there alone. If you were like me that year and you don't know anybody, and your wife and your kids and your family, they all have to be in a different area, so you feel kind of, so I just put my headphones in and sat there and did what I had to do. Granted, it was about 3:45 in the morning when I ran the course that year.
Okay.
And there's a lot of excitement. The lights, the cameras, the superstars, it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Your first year, and if you don't know what you're getting into, and of course when you do get to San Antonio, or when we got to San Antonio, it was more of let's watch all of the testers, and let's look at the course, and let's break everything down, and we overthought it. In my mind, looking back, we overthought it. I stayed way too busy walking around San Antonio than I did staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
When I finally did run the course, I'll never forget it. It's kind of one of those moments that you just don't ever forget. When I got back there, and I was in basically the staging, getting ready to run the course, I just dropped down to one knee and I prayed to God. And I'll never forget what I prayed. I just prayed, just please watch over me. Please keep me from getting hurt. No matter what the outcome is, I'm blessed to be here. And I got up there when I got on stage, and I used to race BMX bikes, so getting up in front of crowds and doing whatever you got to do, I can usually tune everybody out. This was a whole different experience, because when you get up there, there's cameras in your face, there's lights everywhere. It's, you know, you have this massive course in front of you that you've only seen on TV, and you're about to run it. Yeah. So it's just overwhelming, and it's emotional, you know. And whenever when I made it past the floating steps, the first obstacle, I was so excited. And then that year on the TikTok, whenever I made the transition from the pendulum over to the cargo net, and it literally slipped out of my fingers, the next thing I remember just seeing water and red lights. Oh. And at that point, it was everything that I'd prayed for to just I'm thankful for it. I almost felt like it went away. Yeah. I mean, I felt like my dreams, hopes, I felt like I had let everybody down. My family, my wife has put so much time into helping me train. My kids have been there to support me. My family's been there, you know. And I felt like everybody came down here and I just let everyone down. I had a city behind me, a city that supported me, and I felt like I let all of them down. So it really weighed on me. It was really, actually, it took me probably a good week of just mourning over it, you know, before I really realized that I got to move on. You know, this is more. And it took me about 3 months after that to really decide, you know, how dedicated am I to this. You know, am I going to keep pushing forward and go further, or am I going to just let it go? Yeah. And we were, once again, one of those moments. We were actually right here, literally right here across the street. Wow. At the train tracks doing prom pictures for my daughter. Okay. Or homecoming, I'm sorry. It's one of the two. Anyways, I'm a dad, I don't remember that stuff. We were doing pictures, and Dad's thinking, guys, stay away. You know? Yep. But we were doing pictures, and I turned around and I saw the railroad tracks. And right where we were at, the railroad tracks split. And I just walked over to the railroad tracks and I started looking at them, and that's when it hit, you know, what path am I going to go down? You know, am I going to follow the track that goes to the left? It's the straight path, it's the one I've been going down, or am I going to veer off to the right and focus on other things? And it just, after standing there about 2 minutes, 3 minutes of just contemplating life, I said, I can't give up on something that I've tried so hard for. I can't go out like that. So I said, at that point, we're going to come back bigger, badder, and better, and go from there.
That's awesome. And so what's so inspiring about your story is not just that you are building a legacy with your daughter and showing her the grit and the toughness, but you've also included the local high school. And we'll pan around here and get some of these shots, but he's also included, you know, the ag shop, oh man, it's been a while since I've been in high school. He's had the boys and probably girls in the high school build some of his rigs, some of the things that he'll be working out on in the gym, as well as the media. So it's really been, when you say a town's been behind you, the whole high school's been behind you in all kinds of resources, right?
Right, and it's not just the high school. So what a lot of people don't know about me is I'm actually vice president of the Solana FFA alumni. Oh, wow. So I work a lot with the kids. I interact with a lot of the kids from elementary up, ages, 9 years up to 17, 18-year-old kids, and I help basically, everything that goes on with the FFA or for the alumni. We support the FFA. We help raise money for them, and it's great working with the kids. We put on a show every year, and it's a lot of work. I don't know how I find time to do some of this stuff, but I'm real involved with the schools, and so it's not just the high school. It is the junior high and the middle school and the elementaries as well. But it's awesome to work with the kids because they know who I am, they know about me, they know my story, and they get excited whenever they, like the last couple of years I've substitute taught, just to kind of have some fun and, go in and work with the kids. I did a little substitute teaching, and the kids all loved it. If I see them, they tell me I'm their favorite sub. But then I go to the ag shop, and like you said, yes sir, I do. I have a great relationship. One of my closest friends is actually the ag teacher for Solana. And so I get with him, and we just kind of hammer out what I want, and the kids will make it. It works out for them because it gives them a project to work on. And then extra bonus, whenever we open up the doors here, they'll be able to come out and actually play on the stuff. That's great. And that's what we like doing. I mean, I love working with the kids. It's too many kids are sitting in front of computers these days, and phones, and TVs, and mom and dads are allowing it, and that's what we want to get away from. Is give them something, let them build something, and then give them a place to actually play on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, in talking to my wife and kids, we always talk about what podcast. It helps me get interviews down, questions, and things like that. So we were talking to my daughter, and as I was telling you off camera, we went to a ninja place for kids, and so was amazed. And you watch it on TV, and you see what you have to go through, but those are, guys that are doing it, and they're tough, and they're trained. My daughter being in gymnastics, I thought, man, she's going to walk through this. She did yoga the same way, challenged her, she put it down and showed me, in 2 seconds she could do it. That wasn't the case in this one. And so I caught and learned a lot of respect, and just for what it takes and the difference in power and strength and the grips and things. And this was a kids course. It's nothing like these big rigs you have here. So talk to me just a little bit about what you go through mental preparation, because it takes a mindset to even train for this, right? Mm-hmm. And so what is it, what's your routine? What are the secret nuggets that you would give kids that want to do this? Because, talking to my daughter and telling her, yeah, Daddy's going to go talk to a guy that was on American Ninja Warrior. Of course, their eyes lit up, and the real life superhero, and Daddy knows a ninja, and all of those things go. But what I took the summer and really was intentional in teaching my kids mindsets. And so I'm real curious to see what is it that you would tell kids, or what is it that you are telling kids as far as the mental preparation, the mindset to keep doing this day in and day out.
So it's funny. We were July 1st weekend, July 4th weekend. We were out at Allen doing an event with a buddy of mine, Carson Williams, and he's opening a gym, Ninja Nation in Frisco, and he's a teammate, good friend, great guy, veteran on the show, phenomenal athlete. And we were helping him with an event, and I was working the work wall, and that's one thing about this community is what you see on TV is how the people really are. So we were helping another gym out, and it's not we don't compete against each other.
Yeah.
So we were out there helping him, and I was helping kids up the work wall, and telling the kids and seeing the kids and watching the kids try to run up the wall, and they just put their heads down because they're not making it, or they're too far away from it. Every kid that day that I told them, if they said I can't, you can't. I don't want to hear I can't. I want to hear I got this. And they would kind of shake their head. No, don't shake your head. Anything is possible if you want it. How bad do you want it? And I would literally run right beside them. And there was one kid in particular, and I got a picture of it. It's amazing. It was actually Karsten sent it to me, and he said, "John, in this picture, there's so much passion. You can just see it in this picture." And it's me running with this one particular kid who he kept shaking his head. He kept telling me I can't do it. And I just kept telling him every time he said he can't, I kept the same thing. I don't want to hear it. You can do anything you put your mind to. It doesn't matter what it is. If you say you can't, I say you can. So finally, about his fourth time of me running up that wall with him, he grabbed the wall, pulled himself up, and it was amazing. Just the look on his face was awesome. And when he came down, I said, "Now tell me you can't do something. You can do anything. You just got to keep trying. Just because you fall once, you may fall twice. I fall all the time, but that doesn't mean I give up. It means we learn what we did wrong, and we move forward. We correct it and keep going."
Absolutely.
Just the biggest thing is never give up.
Absolutely. So, tell me a little bit about this. You guys are opening up, and it's an amazing story. The fork in the road, so to speak, is right outside the gym that you now got. You're going through. You guys are looking to open up October, November. Is that correct?
That's what we're shooting for.
Okay. And it's called Ninja Fitness in
Yes.
Salina here. So, guys, if you're ever wanting to try out and come see a truly inspirational guy, come to Ninja Fitness here. It'll be open in October, November. It's out here in Salina. As you probably heard earlier, it's right near the train tracks, so you get a little bit of ambiance with it. But if you guys like this, seen the value, I hope it's helped you, challenged you, and brought you a little further in your mindset. go click the like, click the subscribe button on YouTube, iTunes, and everywhere else we're at. Let us know, give us some feedback, and we'll be back. We'll definitely be back because I want to see the finished product and see, who knows, maybe I'll get on a cardio kick and try to come do this. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you next time.